Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sky Foster, Department Manager for BMW Corporate Communications and Associate Number 5.
Oh my gosh! What a way to start a ceremony. Thank you all. A pleasant good morning to each and every one of you, and welcome to BMW Plant Spartanburg. Today is a day of celebration, but it's also a time to reflect on 25 years of clear vision for our company, our great community partners, the state of South Carolina, the nation, our customers worldwide, and our extraordinary associates who comprise the finest workforce ever. You are all an integral part of our success story, and that deserves a round of applause. Thinking back for just a little bit, I was actually hired to hire the workforce to continue the legacy of BMW worldwide, the ultimate driving machine. I remember as I reflect back on that day, my first day, I walked into this room and there were stacked 160,000 resumes from all over the world for the first 100 jobs. I knew at that time, having the greatest feeling I've ever had, that I was about to embark upon something totally unique. A unique phenomena was about to happen in the state of South Carolina. I have witnessed the exponential growth of the company as it has expanded, both as a physical structure and as a workforce for now 11,000 associates. We have been and continue to be a company of high-performing teams who face continuous change, but we never give up. We never let down. We never lose sight of our core values and our unprecedented contributions to the world. We are the company South Carolina needed, and we have not disappointed. We stepped up to the challenge of building the ultimate driving machine for the world, and we turned a vision into reality. Together, we have achieved more than is expected. 25 years of people ready to perform. 25 years of passion ignited for success. 25 years of performance. Proven results. Our journey continues, and thanks to each and every one of you for being a part of our success story. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Knut Flohr, President and CEO of BMW Manufacturing.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? It's a very, very special day today, and you can be sure it's very, very special to me. But first of all, welcome to the dignitaries, welcome to the governor, welcome to the lieutenant governor, Secretary Hitt, and I will talk about you later in my speech, Congressman Timmons, and all the special guests. So please stand up so that we can recognize you. And I would like to start with a thank you. A thank you to you, to the state legislators, to the locally elected officials, because basically you made it happen. So we could not have been that successful in South Carolina if we would not have had your support over years and years and years and years. And it is now 25 years. I would like to start with my story, because you know, when this car left the manufacturing line, the first time I came here was in 1996. And I came as a manager to start up this place. And I stayed in South Carolina for 4 years. So up to the point when we started to produce the X5, the first X5, we started the X story. After 4 years, I told my company I do not want to return. But you know how it is. In a global company, with the experts, they say, no, you have to return. But when I left South Carolina at that time, I clearly said I want to come back. I want to come back to the state, I want to come back to the people, and I want to come back to this workforce. It took me only 15 years, but finally 3 years ago I came back. And as of today, I'm very, very proud to be here, to stand here in front of you and celebrate 25 years of BMW in South Carolina. Let us talk about the history. The X story. This is when we made a decision to build the first X5. The X5, as of today, is the most successful car in the BMW world. And you see, just from the picture, how many cars we launched in the meantime. To the X5 came the X6 and the X7 and the X3 and the X4. So the entire X family is in here, and I can promise you this X success story will continue. If we look into our proof of performance, and I hope you all will agree today with me that we delivered. We delivered up to our promise, and we delivered up to your expectations. As of today, we are the largest BMW plant in the world. And the distance is even bigger over the last month. We have created 11,000 jobs on site. We started out with 600, Bobby, you know. We never thought at that time that we would come up to 11,000. And you know, 2 years ago, I was here on stage, and we promised to you that we are going to create another 1,000 jobs, and that we are going to invest the 600 million. And as of today, I can tell you it's done. We did it. So the people are already in the plant, and the investment is done. So again, we delivered up to our promise. And we are the largest exporter of cars out of the United States. And this is, for me, one of the most important points that we should all remember. Originally, we came here and we said, production follows market. This was the general idea. US turned out into one of our most important markets, and we said production has to follow market because we want to give back. We want to be close to our customers, and last but not least, we want to give back to the community. So we came here to produce the cars in America for America. As of today, 70% of our production is export. And this is why we have over-delivered. Today, we produce, or we have shipped more than 3 million cars into the world. So wherever you are in the world, in which country, and you see an X5, or you see an X6, or you see an X7, you know it's made in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And this in itself is a success story that we need to continue. And I think we made it big. Even the port of Charleston is now one of the most recognized harbors. And thank you for the harbor deepening. We need it because we want to further expand. So the job creation story and the employment story of South Carolina highly depends on the export business. Having said this, there's only wish I would place, and this is very clear. To continue this, we need to have very, very stable and reliable trade rules, because we want to continue with the export business. And Governor, we talk about this all the time. The additional tariffs we want to avoid, because we want to further ship the cars from here into the world. What happened over the last month? So the production of high voltage batteries started. So we have expanded our business again. And you know, the world is turning. The world is turning into different technologies. We do not exactly know which kind of technology will be demanded in the world in the future, but we will be ready to supply whatever is needed to be supplied. Combustion engine, electromobility, hydrogen. Today, as of today, we in BMW, we believe that the world will develop into different directions. So in some parts of the world, electromobility, and other parts this and that. But what we prepared right now is that we are ready to deliver whatever is needed in the world can come from South Carolina. This is why we expanded our battery voltage assembly. So we have invested 10 million into this business. We have a refurbished 70 square foot building, and more than 120 people will be employed based on this new technology. And you know, this new technology needs a lot of new training, new skills. To work with high battery electric vehicle is a completely new skill. And this is why we made a decision to build up a complete new training center. A much bigger training center. We will invest another 20 million just for our workforce to train and develop the technology of the future. Over 40,000 plug-in hybrids are delivered already, and this came from the old X5. But the future is here. By the way, we name this in BMW, we name it the power of choice. The customer should have the power of choice, and we will be able to deliver whatever is needed. And we are just expanding this into all our model families. So the X3 and the X5, they will come as a plug-in hybrid this year. I said it already, 25 years, and looking back into our performance, so far we have produced 4.75 million cars in this place. 4.75. And Bobby Hitt just asked me, when will we hit 5 million? And I said it will be early next year. And then we come back for a celebration, that's for sure. 3 million cars out of this went into the export. And we have invested 10.6 billion US dollar into this place. And we choose this place today in the heart of the production. You can hear it, you can feel it, production is running. And you all should leave this place and know, yes, the heartbeat of manufacturing is in South Carolina, and this is highly welcome to our main production place. But what is it about? Everything what we do is about people. People, 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 and people again. You cannot be successful in business if you do not have the best people. And the people, they are driving our success. And these are the people of South Carolina. And clearly from the bottom of my heart, and the message from BMW is, we made the right decision to come to South Carolina. Thank you, and thank you again for your workforce, for your leadership, and for providing us with a great, hardworking workforce. Thank you to South Carolina. From BMW. And you know, BMW is producing technology flagships. These are not just cars. These are icons. These are technology flagships. And this requires a lot of training, a lot of education, and a lot of willingness to learn, because learning will never stop. And from this point of view, let me say thank you to all our partners in the community, Clemson University, Georgia Tech, you name it. Everybody, South Carolina University, all our great partners, they make it happen that we can train our own workforce. And we will invest more and more into our workforce. We announced 200 million investment in our workforce. We are going to do this because workforce development is really, really essential. And you know what happens today? So the ordinary people in the line, these are not workers anymore. This is not what you might know out of the old industry, dirty, dusty sweating. People are now creators and users of technology. So these are coaches, trainers to technology, and we promise that we will always install the latest technology in this plant. Talking about latest technology, we believe in innovation. And I'm very happy that we can say we have some showcases here with artificial intelligence. When you go down this line, you will find artificial intelligence systems that check the cars, that will support the people in building. That's a real showcase. So this is something that they do not have in the German plants, something we created here and we established here. In the near future, we will see autonomous driving cars. And the first step will be that the cars are driving off the manufacturing line into the logistics area fully autonomous. Because the car will be ready to do this. It's not on the street yet because some of the regulations are needed, but the cars will leave here in autonomous driving mode. And you will see a lot of logistics autonomous. And this, as I said, can only be done with our local partners, the tech colleges, universities. And I need to say it has improved. Over the last 3 years, I can personally judge on this. I see a big improvement that we work much better together and that we really invent technology. And in future, I think more and more technology will come from South Carolina. And Bobby, we just started to do something with the Fraunhofer Institute. I see a lot of potential that we can develop new technology in South Carolina and we can sell it in the world. So the future for this kind of advanced manufacturing is open. And we want to lead in this, not only as BMW, we want to lead in this as Plant Spartanburg in South Carolina, because we have all the support that we need. And Governor, this answers your question. Yes, we have all the support. You have treated us extremely well over the last 25 years. Having said this, I would like to say thank you again. Thank you to South Carolina. Thank you to the people of South Carolina. And thank you to celebrating these 25 years of productions with us. Thank you, and thank you again.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bobby Hitt, South Carolina Secretary of Commerce.
It is an absolute pleasure for me to be here today as we celebrate the 25th anniversary of the first car production start here at BMW. I see a lot of faces that I know. Most of the faces in this room I know. I see some that have become old and gray, like Knut and I, because we've known each other since the very beginning. I think mine's turning blonde again, actually, so I'm in for a while. So, you know, over the course of history, there are very few events that take place that have the power and significance to transform an entire state. An occurrence of that magnitude is rare. But 25 years ago, when production began at this BMW facility, one such event transpired in South Carolina. You have to remember, 25 plus years ago, we were what I call the 3T state: textile, tobacco, and tourism. That's who we were as a state. That was our signature. That's what we were known for. Well, today, we're an automotive and aerospace state with big pharma and many other complex advanced manufacturing companies here. And all of that goes back to what we're celebrating today, and that was demonstrating to the world that the men and women of South Carolina could build the most complex consumer product on the face of the earth. And that's what they do here at BMW, about 1,500 times a day, every day. You know, I'm reminded in my early time here at BMW, when we first announced this plant, before we started this production, the rest of the world was somewhat skeptical of this relationship between BMW and South Carolina. I remember getting a call from the New York Times reporter that asked me, I'll clean it up a little bit, who asked me why a sophisticated company like South Carolina would locate in some backwater place like South Carolina. Well, my dad always used to teach me, rather than being angry, be humorous. So my response was, well, you know, after we got these boys and girls wearing shoes, they turned out to be pretty good auto workers. Well, I think we've shown the world the quality of the workforce in South Carolina, because we would not be building jets, we would not be building commercial jets, soon to be building military jets, we wouldn't be building other car brands in this state. All of it comes from the day we're celebrating today, from 25 years ago. There was a vision by the leadership of South Carolina, by Governor Campbell, and supported by the General Assembly, and has been supported ever since. And so BMW's decision, which you have to know at the time was seen as a little bit crazy by the car industry. The decision to come to Spartanburg County was a true game changer for South Carolina. In the years that have followed, that credibility has simply solidified and the reputation has developed. BMW's success showed the world South Carolina is a premium state, and that's who we are, and we're that as a result of BMW. The first campaign we did here at BMW when we opened the plant, and I remember the day we walked into this plant, we gave T-shirts to everybody when we moved over into the old what was it, Garfield building, which is our first building, just still part of the old training apparatus over on the west side of the campus. We gave everybody a T-shirt. We didn't have uniforms, but at the time, as Sky referenced how many people had applied to work here, in terms of the production staff, 60,000 people had applied, and we had a induction center over at 290, and 60,000 people applied here in South Carolina to come to work in what they saw as a brand new industry that would change South Carolina. It was a remarkable time. We gave everybody a T-shirt, and for the people who had the T-shirt, when they would see each other, or other people would see them in the mall, they would congratulate them like they had won the lottery, because the media was full of the reports of how many people had applied. And so if you had been picked to come to BMW, you must have been special. That was probably true of just about everybody but me. The people who came here were very, very special, and they have changed the face of South Carolina, and they should feel it and enjoy the fact that they're part of something larger larger than just BMW. It's larger than anything for South Carolina. The impact on South Carolina has just been immeasurable. The investment, of course, can be quantified, which it's been done. But what it has done now, when we talk to companies around the world, they know South Carolina, and the image and brand of BMW is burnished on South Carolina, and the brand of South Carolina is burnished on BMW. And it has been a remarkable thing. There's a lot of, the economic driver of BMW's Upstate has made us into a state without parallel in the United States. For 4 of the last 7 years, we've led the country in foreign direct investment. That's a direct result of the association with BMW and the success of the BMW project. The first place that a company down the state called Volvo came to look at South Carolina was this plant. And they walked around in this plant and they asked some of my colleagues at BMW, what do you think if we wanted to locate, would South Carolina be a good place? I believe the quick answer was, as long as you're not across the street, that'd be just fine. So now we are a 3-brand state, and the other brand is one very familiar to BMW, and that, of course, is Mercedes-Benz, which is producing vans in the low country. So it's been quite a change. It's been quite an important event for South Carolina. It's been an important event for me personally. I have had the good fortune to be sort of in the front seat looking through the windshield at the change of South Carolina for the last 25 or 30 years. And it's been a remarkable change, and it's been supported by the leadership of this state from day one. I remember talking to one of the planners at BMW in my earliest days here, asking them why did we come to South Carolina? Now, I was talking to people in Germany in the old planning department there. Planning department is very powerful inside a German company. Why exactly did we come to South Carolina? And this person who had never been to South Carolina looked at me and says, well, because you have the key ingredients in success in car manufacturing. I said, really? We've been unable to do this for 100 years, so tell me what those ingredients are. He said, well, we look at your technical schools, and we realize that you have the best technical system in the country. This was measured by our colleagues in Munich, who said we had the best technical system in the country. And with that, you can create skill. And then we rode around in the neighborhoods and saw how people lived. Well, as a typical Southerner, I thought, oh my. I was worried about which neighborhoods they rode in, of course. Because for most of us, we come up with a little different image than maybe they did. But they rode around in the middle-class neighborhoods, and they said we could see how people kept their yards and their houses. And we could tell from that the people here in South Carolina are very proud people. And you know, if you mix skill and pride, you make BMWs. Those are the essential ingredients in success. And ladies and gentlemen, those are the central ingredients in success, and we have been successful here in South Carolina together with BMW, and it continues. And we have had great support from every governor since Carroll Campbell all the way through to today, to a dear friend of mine, and that is Henry McMaster. He is dedicated to South Carolina's presence in the global economy by investing in our infrastructure, our workforce, South Carolina's pro-business environment. He pushes me every day. He takes me up to Washington with me and throws me into the briar patch with some of these trade issues. He'll look at me when we're getting off the plane and says, you could do the talking. I said, you can bet, Governor, I'm going to do the talking. And we have a lot of time in Washington talking about issues that are important to South Carolina. And we will be successful as the state of South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, the Governor of South Carolina, Henry McMaster.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. Can everybody hear me all right? That's a great question to ask when you have a fine system like this, amplification, but you have to speak over all this work going on behind us, all the beeping. I've been watching those doors going by, and I don't mind having to speak over a new BMW getting produced and rolling off at roughly every minute. Newt, that's a great thing. I like to start off with something funny. Y'all, have you heard the little story about the fellow in the church? They're in the big church, a lot of churches in South Carolina. In fact, I think we got a hold of world's record. When Peggy and I go to our family place down at Pawleys Island, we like to go to. One time I noticed all the churches and some synagogues, but a lot of churches, so I counted them. You can see 85 churches from the road in 137 miles between Columbia and the way we go to Pawleys Island, which is on the coast. That's a strong statement. Also a strong statement of our military tradition. Those are two things in addition to what Bobby mentioned that made us such a great place to do business and work. But a little funny story, the fellow was at the end of the church service, big church service, and helping people out, and he was walking out helping an older lady down the front steps at this big church. And he says, ma'am, I got to just say that's about the worst sermon I think I ever heard. She said, you don't know who I am, do you? He says, no, I don't. He says, well, I'm the preacher's mama. He said, oh, well, you don't know who I am, do you? He said, no, I don't. He said, thank you, Jesus. Well, see, everybody here in this state knows everybody. 1994 was a big year, Newt. It was a big year politically for South Carolina. Where was the Speaker of the House? It was the first Speaker, Republican Speaker of the House in the South in 1994. Stand up and take a bow. Since Reconstruction, David Wilkins, now Ambassador. Where's David Britt go? He was here at the beginning, but on the county. Stand up and take a bow. And I want to thank the other members of the legislature who put in their time and work. A county council, legislative delegation, used to be maybe a House member like Dwight Loftus, now Senator. Y'all stand up and take a bow. Let them look at you. That's a good-looking bunch. Mike Burns, Bill Chumley on the back row. But my point is we got a great team. And it takes a great team to have this kind of success, and we're going to keep on doing it. Frankly, I wonder why anybody, any big company would want to go anywhere but the South, because of all the things we have here. It takes a lot of work. I remember a chairman of BMW a few years ago at a ceremony like this said that we came to South Carolina because South Carolina is a handshake state. He says when the people of South Carolina give you their word, they'll keep it, and they'll work. Mark Clark, great general, youngest four-star general in the history of this country, once said that there's more patriotism per square inch in South Carolina than any place in the world. Now, you take that kind of people with those kind of traditions and put them in a place called paradise with the mountains and the rivers and the oceans and all the things, the climate, all the things that we have, and you produce, Newt, you produce some strong people. And strong people produce success. And that is what we're seeing here today, and we're seeing it all over our state, and we're going to keep on seeing it because we got the right attitude, we got the right team, we got the right people. And Newt, finally, to answer your question, have you delivered? Has BMW delivered on its expectations, on our expectations? The answer is yes. It started off the promise, as I remember, Mr. Ambassador David Britt, 600 million was the promise and 2,000 employees. Well, now we're at 10 billion in investment or more and 11,000 employees through 5 expansions with 4.75 million vehicles and one coming off every minute. That's why these things keep moving behind me. In any way you look at it, that is success, and we're going to have more of it. My final thought is for all of us here, we are in a position, we have seen this success. We know what makes people happy. We know what makes people strong. And the thing that we must do is be sure that the children and the young people of our state are fully educated. Where's the doctor from Technical College? Where's Dr. Miller? There he is. That is another reason for our great success. We got to educate these children. We got to train them. We have to be sure that they have high expectations and allowed and encouraged to go to their fullest dreams, and it will be done because of places like this, because of efforts like this, because of this kind of teamwork. So, ladies and gentlemen, always tell the children of South Carolina that South Carolina is the best place in the world to live, work, and raise a family, right here. And thank you, BMW, thank you, this great team, for this very successful moment, and there will be more, we promise. Newt, this is a license plate commemorating 25 years of production in South Carolina, September 30th, 2019. It says BMW 2025, and it also bears our motto, while I breathe, I hope. We are breathing, we are hoping for 25 more years at least. And so on behalf of about 5 million proud, happy South Carolinians, we present this to you in commemoration of this event and this success. And we thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So January 4th, 94 was a huge day of anticipation. That first day reporting to work was exciting.
It was really my first real job, and I just was filled with excitement and just ready to learn and soak in
And Sky Foster met us at the door and introduced us to the famous white coat.
Yes, the white coat. It's really, I still have mine, still fits.
My name is Mike Davis. I'm from Honeypath.
I'm Joyce Rothrock from Spartanburg.
Hi, it's Mike Duncan. I'm from Coza.
Hi, I'm Tammy D. Young. I'm from Gallinsville.
You're meeting your fellow associates for the first time and introducing yourself.
My name is Ryan Childers, and I'm from Gagg.
None of us had been automobile manufacturers. We didn't have that type of experience. So we learned together, we grew together, and we became a family.
To me, BMW had a plan. They didn't want anyone with any preconceived. They wanted to mold you in how to build their car. And they kept emphasizing craftsmanship, craftsmanship to this product.
We will all continue to strive to grasp all the knowledge possible to manufacture with safety the #1 quality car known worldwide, built with South Carolina craftsmanship.
It was very nerve-wracking the day of the ceremony. So here I was, end of the line with the brand new 318, the first car, historical car, and I had to start it up, had to drive it through a banner into a crowd that was very close next to a stage, get out and give the keys to Al Kinzer.
With this new Spartanburg plant, we are weaving our dreams and ideals into the very fabric of life in North America for the future to come.
I'll never forget that night. The sky was just so majestic, the moon, stars. It was like time was standing still. Singing the national anthem was really a great honor, because they could have chosen anybody outside of BMW to sing the national anthem.
Knowing that BMW had came to Greer, South Carolina, and that we were all part of building the ultimate driving machine, I could not have been prouder than for our team to accomplish that and show the world what was to come.
BMW has been so good to me. And the one thing I guess that gives me the most pride is that wherever I go traveling, I can see a Z3, a Z4, the X Series now, and still to this day I know that I have a contribution to that car. And that right there in itself, I can't tell you the pride that you have in it.
Here they are, our people, the people that made BMW what it is today. And just to reflect a little bit on what I heard, there was a lot of pride in there, and the very good memories came back, right? When we saw the white shirts. But BMW is home. BMW is home to a lot of families, and we are a family. BMW always creates this family feeling. Yes, there has to be friction, and we have to perform, and we have to continue, and we have to have competition, but this is what drives us forward. And as said already, you could hear it, it is a consistent learning. From this point of view, very clear, and I was very happy to see this, performance and passion and education. This, at the end of the day, drives the success. And as we always say, we are extremely proud that South Carolina is our home. And now I would like to ask the people that you just saw in the video, 25 years of loyalty to BMW, growing with BMW, please stand up. Basically, you made it happen. So you're the backbone of our success. Having said this, again, thank you very much to the officials and to our suppliers and to our associates for 25 years of success. And
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Forrester, Spartanburg County, South Carolina House of Representatives.
Well, good morning. I wanted to say Representative Rita Allison could not be here today. She's off on a listening tour for our education teachers, and you know how important that is for our future workforce. So she sends her regrets for not being able to be here. But she asked me to present this House certificate this morning, and it's from the state of South Carolina House of Representatives on a motion of Representative Rita Allison. Members of the House of Representatives honor and commend BMW Manufacturing for 25 years of production at Spartanburg plant. We thank you for all your contributions to economic development, not only in the upstate, but the entire state. The jobs you've created is tremendous, and what you do in our communities. There just can't be enough thanks for that. We appreciate all you do. So the members of the South Carolina General Assembly, the representatives, honor BMW Manufacturing Company on this meritorious occasion and wish them continued prosperity and success in all your future endeavors.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate all you
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good. Thank you. Thank you for the recognition. And finally, I would like to ask Ryan Childers on stage. You remember, here he is. You remember the video you saw? The guy who drove the first car, this one, off the stage? Here he is. And Ryan, when I look at you, I can clearly see you didn't change. You didn't change, right? Huh? Still the same.
Still young.
Right, let us show now our latest product, especially for this day. So what do you think? The color matches, right? Good. Having said this, I would like to ask the governor and the representatives, please come for a photo. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you.
Is it, no? Hmm? Good. Good. Oh, we have more.
Okay, we're good.
Okay.
I'll make an announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our event. Thank you for attending, and you can enjoy some refreshments. Yeah.